Hang on, trying on air is live. It says it in the corner. Good evening. Welcome to Raconteurs After Dark. It's me, Jason. I just thought I'd do something tonight. I was hoping to get Webby on and talk about some things that other than bills of exchange, but he's not about at the moment. Hang on. Yes. Right, well, I've sent it. It might be in your trash or your spam or something like that. What? Junk. Whatever, I don't know why they just don't send in your roll instead of deciding for you. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Raconteurs After Dark. I've got AD on phone. I'm trying to get AD into this call because I can't get Webby on, and we're going to be talking about some shit. I just want to get Webby on, AD on. Sorry, but because he's such a fucking dickhead, it's difficult for him to read an email and find an email, and of course it's there. I've sent it to you twice now. Gmail, Aid Hardy at Gmail something. I'll not finish that off because that'll sort of get it away, doesn't it? Well, that's what I sent it to anyway. This is good stuff, this, people, by the way. Who's what? I've already started, me. Have you found it? He's going back in again. That's what she said. It should say that you've been invited to a Google Hangout or somewhere along those lines, or... Right, well, what other way can I send you this? WhatsApp, I'll send you the link by WhatsApp. Do you think you'll be able to... Well, what you got on your laptop that I can send you the link to? You don't need to go on YouTube. Listen. Stop talking like an idiot and listen to what I'm saying. Right? You can't do it on you. You can't go on YouTube and get something. Right? It needs to be Google Chrome. You need to get this address and paste it into Google Chrome. Now, normally I would do that. I'd send you an invite. I'm going to do it again. Have you got a different email address? I've already done that twice. But that's no excuse for not being able to. Right, Aid Hardy at gmail.com. It's even got that picture of that fucking ridiculous tattoo of yours. It is. But anyway, let's not argue about that. But that's what it says. It's on here, and I'm sending you in the invite now. Invited. There you go. You've been invited. It's just whether you can get on now, isn't it? Is it there? Good evening to everyone in the chat room. Evening, Jace. That's from Lopsome Throw. Donna Caddy is there. Hello, Donna and Alex Rich. Good evening, everybody. It's just a bit of an impromptu Friday night thing that we seem to have been doing for the last week or so. We did one last week. How are you going on, AD? Have you found it yet? Is it? Have you got anything that says it's from Andy Pandy? It's fucking great, this. I wanted to get into some great good stuff, and all I'm doing is I'm on phone to a fucking bear. Well, yeah, you are. I mean, come on, how hard is it to open an email up and accept an invite? It's got to be there. Is it in your spam folder? Is it in your junk folder? Is it in your inbox? Are you looking at the proper places? Listen, nobody can hear you, so all I can hear is you. Nobody else can hear you. I've not got you on speakerphone or anything like that. All people that are tuned in now, they're all just listening to me. That's it. They can't hear you, so stop making jokes because they're not very good anyway. And just get your way on. I'm sure you think you're like. There you go. Okay, let's see. Let's see whether this is it. This is happening. Is this happening? Do we have Aid Hardy getting on with us on this Google Hangout? I know it's difficult and it's technology and it's clicking things with your fingers. That's not it. Definitely not. Oh, fucking hell. Accept, yes, accept. We like accepting. He might be. Just fucking ignore what it says. Just click OK. You fucking gave your life away years ago. You fucking stop trying to protect your privacy that were gone years and years ago. No. Right, so click OK. Well, can you find the thing that says OK? There's a thing that a box to tick, and then you click OK. Scroll down. You know you can scroll down. Well, just do what you're doing and stop concentrating on the fact that you're pissed. I've had 2 joints and a load of gin and a load of fucking vodka, but I'm still, there, able. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, it's just me, Jason. It's Raconteurs. I just thought we'd do a little Friday night thing because it was so successful last week. It went down really well, so I thought we'd perhaps do it tonight. But unfortunately, tonight I've invited Forrest fucking Gump on. So we're a bit delayed. I said 10:05, and it's taken him till what we are now, 10:15 to be able to get on, and he's still not fucking on. And he said he actually saw the things that said accept, and he didn't click them and then get on because come on, Adi, for fuck's sake, it is there. Did you see it? What did it say? What's it say in front of you? You've got a picture of yourself. Right. Right, and you've accepted. So you've put the little checkbox. There we go. For fuck's sake, that's what you're doing.
Hey!
Fuck me, lady. I mean, for God's sake, it's like fucking giving birth to a fucking elephant's fucking vagina. I don't know. It's just weird.
I'm in, man.
How you doing, brother?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm all right, mate. I'm just I've had far too little to drink and not enough to smoke.
Yeah. It's it is. Listen, I've not really had much to drink. I've had a little bit to drink. I've had 3/4 of a bottle of gin, but I mean, when it comes to me, that's fuck all. And I've had a couple of joints, but I just wanted, first of all, before we did anything, before we went into the light-hearted stuff, which we're naturally going to go on to, but I just wanted to mention somebody who I worked with quite a lot in in the early days. Bernie, do you remember Bernie from from Doncaster. I don't know if you were.
Oh yeah.
Well, unfortunately, I just found out tonight, but Bernie died in November. I believe it was sometime in November, and it was the first time tonight that I'd heard about that, and I was sort of thinking, and I was making like a. I was sort of like thinking to myself, well, this social media is supposed to bring us closer. Yet there's some guy that I did quite a lot of work with. I interviewed him a number of times on the show. His name was Bernie Gadd. I interviewed him a number of times on the show. I even went to his house and did a video interview, which I then sent away to somebody to be edited, and it never were edited. And I'm fucking certain to this day that the person that was supposed to be editing it got rid of it intentionally because of the information that were in it, because they had such a lot of information, and you know, and so. I just wanted to pay tribute to Bernie. Bernie was a great guy. I spent a few, you know, I wouldn't say I spent many I spent many hours with. I didn't. I spent a few hours with him in his house. When I videoed him and did an interview, and he was really open and honest, and there were a lot of things, and the stuff didn't get broadcast for a number of reasons. There were a number of reasons, and now I'm trying to find him. I'm desperately trying to find him to put them together so that people can understand, and more people will hear his story, because it's an incredible story. So I'd just like to pay tribute to Bernie. And if you look back on Raconteurs News, I'm going to. We interviewed Bernie a couple of times, but we interviewed him before we were on YouTube, so a lot of it has. It's not there anymore. So what I'm going to do is I've got all the archives of that. So I'm going to get the Bernie interviews up, and I'm going to put them on YouTube. So look out for that, because he was a great guy, Bernie Gadd, and I know that they were. He really was, and he'd been through such a story, and I mean. He had a story to tell, and he essentially gave us the name of the person that had killed Jill Dando, and that came from his own research and his own work, and after things that had happened to him, and that story in itself were quite harrowing. And I do remember that me and Andy had decided. It weren't particularly after an interview with Bernie, but it was when we'd been doing a few interviews that included child abuse. We decided we were going to take a little bit of a step back from it, because it was affecting us as well. Although we wanted to support the people that were fighting child abuse and stuff, we wanted to just take a little bit of a step back. So I've just found out tonight about Bernie, and I'd just like to say he's a great loss, and what a great guy he was as well. So I just want to get that out of the way, because it's Friday night and we're both pissed and everything. I just wanted to. I didn't want to get that out of the way. I just want to get that on record.
You know, Jace, the thing, as you know, I'm not on social media, but there's two edges to social media. One, yeah, you can keep in contact with people that you otherwise probably wouldn't, but there's also a massive assumption there that everybody that you thought you were in touch with, you really are, almost without thinking about it. And it's days like this that makes you realise that Bernie died in November, and here we are in March, and you've only just found out.
Yeah, and that's
so it's almost like a double-edged thing, where you know the assumption is that, well, of course you'll know, you're on Facebook or you're on Instagram or you're on whatever, and then sadly an important guy like Bernie gets, I wouldn't say overlooked, but possibly
it certainly weren't overlooked. It certainly weren't overlooked. What I think happened is that Facebook, for fucking some reason, decided that, you know, that I wasn't to know that, you know, and I don't mean in any nefarious way that it singled me out. I just think that the way Facebook works if you've not interacted with somebody, and I've not interacted with Bernie for quite a long time, I had a few conversations with him. Perhaps before I had my leg operation, I'd spoke to him, a few times before that. But then, because we'd perhaps not spoken and interacted between each other, Facebook then thought that it was okay that I didn't give a fucking flying fuck about anything that had happened to him. So when people it don't pop up on my feed, and that's what's wrong with social media.
Yeah, and but the other thing is that eventually that message has got to you, and that regardless of whether it's 4 months, 4 years, or 40 years, the impact that Bernie had on you and everybody else, and with the Jill Dando stuff, what can you say? The man did more than was required during his time, and he left behind something that was worth leaving behind.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. He left behind. He wrote a blog. I don't know whether I think keep up. This is the thing. You see, you get to this point where, and then you find out somebody that you perhaps had a relationship with, and you had a lot to do with, but it sort of faded away. It's not there, and it's. I don't want to say faded away, but it's gone. Not funny. I'm fucking. Your dog barking, fucking putting me off. Is that your dog?
Yeah. I just need to go see what he's barking at. Hang on.
We'll see what he's barking at. I'll make my point. But what I'm saying is that I can't. Well, all I'm saying is that dog's barking. I hope it's barking at the ghost of Bernie that's coming along to us and giving us just interrupting us just for the sake of it. But yeah, a couple of interviews I've done with Bernie. I'm going to dig them out. I'm going to find them. If the ones that are not on YouTube, I'm going to put on YouTube, and so you'll be able to see them there. But yeah, he were a great guy, and I really enjoyed spending time with him. Even though it was quite harrowing because the stories that he was telling. But anyway, let's get on to tonight. Ada, how you doing, mate? What's that? You've got a mop with you.
I have. This is Rollo. Turn around. Rollo belongs to one of my neighbours, and this is what good people doing good things for each other looks like. One of my neighbours, I didn't know this, but all I noticed was one of my neighbours during the day had got different members of the family coming to let this little man out for a wee. So I put a letter through her letterbox saying, "Hello, I'm the sad old git that lives at number 15, and if ever you need a doggy babysitter, I'd love to look after him." And very quickly she came back to me and said her daughter and son had got the dog, but shortly after had a baby and couldn't cope with both. By which time her and her husband had fallen in love with the dog. This little man, how could you not? And the problem was that they both worked. He works 6 days a week. She works 3 days a week. So 3 days a week, they struggle for somebody to look after the dog. Well, as it would happen, those 3 days, I can either pop and let this little man out for a wee, or actually take him to work with me. And he's great company. He's a lovely little boy. He's a year old. His name's Rollo, and he's the cuddliest, loveliest cockapoo in the world. He really is a little sweetheart. But I have something special to tell you. They've gone on holiday, and Rollo's waiting for Mummy and Daddy to come back. But one of my customers has got a young daughter.
You went away then. Start. You said you've got some news.
Yeah, one of my customers has a 14-year-old daughter who is bullied beyond belief. I mean, really badly. And this young lady, she's a lovely, lovely, lovely girl. Absolute salt of the earth. And her mum cries whenever I see her because her daughter is bullied beyond belief at school for actually being a clever girl. She really is a clever lass. But of course, bullying is Sadly, it's what happens in secondary schools. Anyway, I haven't seen this young lady smile for a year. She self-harms, and I guess because it's something she's actually got control over. I'm not a psychologist, but you know, this young lady is. She's 14. She's bullied, and if it wasn't for the bully, she could be better. I haven't seen her smile for a year. And the other day, I called around to her house to see her mum as one of my customers, and I got this young little man in the car. And this young lady came out to the car, and you have never seen a smile as big in all your life. Just because I've got a fluffy little dog sat in the passenger seat of the car. So what I would say to everybody is, whatever you've got in your life that makes you feel sad, when there's a little man like this who, without doing anything, just by being what he is, can bring a big smile to a young lady's face like that, is one special thing. And here he is. His name's Rolo, and he's mega.
I think Watson knows. He's in his little cage next to me, and he's asleep. But he's started. Listen, if you can hear, he can go.
Yeah, I can hear him. Yeah.
So he's dreaming. So he's obviously dreaming
sure.
of that cockapoo there. That's
Rolo.
What you're saying is, then AD, is that you're driving around and enticing young girls to your car with a puppy.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
How could you? Hello. How could you not love this little man? I'm sure he's actually a crossbreed with an alpaca because he's got that much wool. But you know, he's a lovely little man. And honestly, to see that young girl's face the other day was just priceless. And you know, a mum's been saying for a while, jump down, mate. You want to go down? No, you want to cuddle. Okay. A mum's been saying for a while that, you know, if she got a dog, it'd be just something else to add to the list of her duties every day. And I think after seeing Rolo, she realised that if she actually got a dog for a daughter would actually look after the dog. And rather than double her workload, it would probably half her workload just because she'd got a dog that the young daughter can relate to.
Well, I mean, we know you're a really committed dogger.
Yeah, the last one's name was Sandra, and I gave her my 8-inch cock.
Well, yeah, I know, but you know, has she get at you back yet?
No.
That's what we're asking. That's what we're asking you. So, what do you make of this? What's going on? You know, I've had. Well, I know we say this all the time, but I'm just trying to. I'm not saying it in the same way that everyone says it, like the world's going bonkers. But actually, the world, in other words, individual people are going fucking bonkers, aren't they?
Oh yeah. I mean, I can give you a list, but who's on your top 10?
I've got of bonkers people.
Hmm.
Well, I can give you. I don't need to give you 10. I can give you fucking 17.4 million of bonkers people. I can.
Yeah.
Those people that voted Brexit that are not tearing down these cunts fucking. You know, it's like they come along and they went, okay, if you vote for us, we'll give you a referendum on leaving the EU, and we went, yeah, so we voted them in. Then they get this referendum on the EU, and they went, oh, and it's back before they went, oh, it's binding. There's no turning back. We're in or we're out. It's one way or the other. There's no fucking turning back. There's no blah, blah, blah. Warning everybody of the consequences or what would happen if we voted out. So we vote out. Then what happens? They go, Nah, we're not fucking letting you do that. Are you fucking stupid or what? Do you think we're fucking stupid? That fucking gravy train that we're on, that thing, we're not going to allow you to do that. And, you know, they do this thing where they go, oh, there's a petition for a second referendum and it's got 3 million views. Sorry, 3 million votes, signatures. And you go and look and you can see and there's Pope John Paul II's fucking been dead for God knows how many years, and he's voted at johnpaul@gmail.com and all this sort of shit, and it's just nonsense. It's just fucking ridiculous. I've just had to turn off from it.
All I've got to say is, which part of leave don't you fucking understand?
All of it. I don't.
You know,
there's none of it.
You ask people.
No, it's going to happen.
It's just. No, of course it isn't.
It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And you know what? You know what we do? We get these people and we get them in. They say, "Oh, it's peace. We need to peacefully do this and peaceful." Fucking peace has done us no good. We peacefully voted. We peacefully protested when they won't fucking they're going for this deal. And then we peacefully protest when they say, "Well, no deal's off the table." We didn't vote a deal or no deal. We voted to fucking leave. We don't care about a deal. We don't want a deal. Fuck them. They can come to us and say, "Excuse me, Britain, but can we deal? Can we trade with you?" That's the attitude we need to have. But we've got politicians, and these politicians and people go, "Oh, they're all fucking pussies," and they're not. They're just doing what they're fucking told. They're doing what they are fucking told. So we are never getting out until. And somebody put on a thing tonight. In fact, this is a thought I had tonight, right? And I thought to myself, what commodity do we have as the many more than the few? And that is our blood. Blood. We've got more blood than they have. So we need to be dragging them out. We need to be dragging them out. We need to be putting them in prison. We need to stop this pussyfooting around with it. Oh, this violence. No violence. No, they're fucking using violence against us. Why the fuck are we not using violence against them? Because we've been conditioned and violence is terrible. BBC will tell you, blah, 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 violence, violence, violence. And then they'll fucking talk about fucking dropping bombs on fucking Syria or fucking Sudan or fucking anywhere. Violence is terrible. It's fucking... Now, I tell you what, let's try it. I don't want it. I don't want it. But let's fucking try it. Let's try to see what happens when we go in there and we grab them by a fucking ear hole and we drag them out. And we say, "Now then, cunt, fucking slap, 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 slap." Get it like we used to with fucking when you were at school, and there were these fucking pussies that used to grass on you or grass on fucking somebody were going to do something, and they'd be the one. And this is what we've got as politicians, and these fucking dickheads. You've got these dickheads that are fucking protecting them. These fucking dickheads that don't realise that they're getting fucked just as much as everybody else. So it would be so fucking easy. What we should do is we should have an amnesty. We should say, right, any politician, step down now. We get rid of party system. Any politician, step down now, and you will not be prosecuted for your war crimes. Apart from Tony Blair, let's just string him up from his bollocks just for that stupid fucking look on his face and that fucking transvestite that he's fucking married to. Let's just do that. We're at a point. We're at this point where we can't anymore be saying, "Look, this has got to be non-violent," because if it's non-violent, what you're doing is you're taking, that the other side then will know that you're not going to be violent. So they use violence against you. They know you're not going to use violence against them because you've made a pledge, because you're peace and love and light and fucking healing and all this shit. Fuck that.
You see, I've got a view, and when it comes to the Europe thing, it was never supposed to be easy. It was always supposed to be hard. It was always supposed to be a lesson to every other country in the EU that, oh, look at the hassle you're going to get if you try to leave. But ultimately, they want one world government. So it actually doesn't make any difference, because if we supposedly leave, it'll just be in name, but not in actual what happens. But if we actually leave, we'll all go down the road of getting these trade agreements all across the world. Well, that's one stage closer to one world government, or we'll end up staying in the EU, which is one step closer to one world government. So we end up one step closer to one world government. So my view is that when people finally realise that, you know, the party politics is just a deception. Have you ever heard the phrase, it doesn't matter who you vote for, the government's still getting?
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
That's because the real government, the government who are the bankers, who tell the supposedly government, the puppets, what to do, what to say, they're the ones. Now, it doesn't matter what colour fucking tie any of these arseholes wear that we see on the telly, because all they are is puppets, politicians, and fucking effectively actors. But one thing you are right about, Jason, is this. We've got to do something different. Now, my view, your view is, let's get them by the bollocks and drag them out into the fucking streets and say, now then, cunt, what is it you were fucking saying about our future? Well, my view is, let's just ignore the fuckers out of existence. Just ignore them. Because when you go fucking banging drums and rattling on windows and all the rest of it, all they look at is, oh, look, they're asking us permission. And it doesn't matter how nicely or noisily you do it, you're still asking permission. Whereas if you just fucking ignore them, nobody votes, nobody cares, nobody watches the BBC. What are they going to do then? What are they going to do? The trouble is, we live in a society where people do watch the BBC. They do watch fucking EastEnders. They're not interested in what's really happening. They don't understand the fact that actually, you know, the government isn't what you think it is. It's just a fucking charade. And so actually, Jason's way of doing that there and rattle some fucking cages is probably the only way to make any inroads into what we want to do. But actually, if people would fucking sit down and listen to what was really going on, the way to do it would be my way, which is just ignore them out of existence. But the trouble is, they actually believe that all this shit they see on the fucking telly and the news is real. And it's just not real. It's all fucking theatre to make you think that you've got a choice. And you fucking haven't. You do not have a choice.
Yeah, but we're being backed into a corner, aren't we?
Yeah, of course we are.
We're being backed into a corner. What do we do? What do we do? Do we just sit here and, you know, and we go, oh, and post on Facebook, which nobody sees, by the way. Facebook is a complete and utter fucking waste of time. I see nothing. I turn my Facebook right. I get note comes on. I've got a phone thing, right. Let me just show you this. Let me just do a demonstration. I go on Facebook. Okay, so let me go on Facebook on my phone. Okay, so there you go. I've got 3 notifications. And yeah, some people. Yeah, so I've got 3 notifications. So there you go. You can see. Can you see this?
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah. So if I turn that off, if I get rid of that, and then I start it up, it says, look how many notifications I've suddenly got. I just
I can't see that. How many is there? 53.
53. So there's actually notifications, but there were none before. You know, this is what Facebook's just a complete and utter waste of time. It's brain training. That's what it is. You remember brain training on fucking ago? It's the same thing. It's brain training. It's training your brain to think, well, there's no going on. There's no fucking going on. I don't know. You can't tell whether anything's been going on. All I know is that they were talking about blockading motorways this tonight from 6 o'clock, M1 and what have you. All I know is me and my missus went to fucking Chippy at about fucking 5:30 in car and couldn't get up Ridgeway Road because it was chock-a-block, because there were people fucking coming off the motorway and trying to go through Chesterfield and up there and across back onto M1 a little bit further up. So, but I've not seen anything about that, you know. But I know it's happening, and I know it's going on, and it's almost as if you can't that anything that's of any use is just. I don't see anything from my family anymore. Nothing from my family on Facebook. Nothing. Anything they post, I don't see it. I never see it. I have to go to their profile to see what they posted. I don't see anything anymore, and I'm assuming it's the same other way around. They don't see anything I post. To be fair, I very rarely post anyway because it's such a fucking waste of time. But you know, what you do get is you get all this. I've listened to a couple of people, and I was speaking last night with somebody very, very close to me, and I was making this point. I was making this point that they are not going anywhere until we fucking drag them out. Until we get rid of them, drag them out. It doesn't have to be physical. It just has to be right. You know, you get a fucking police go in and say, right, you're all out. It's done. People don't fucking want something like that. They need fucking dragging out. But you get these people, and they'll go. And you know, when we get rioting on streets, and you'll get people that'll go, but that's what they want. Bullshit, that's what they fucking want. They don't want that at all. They fear that, which is why they always go down the route of, well, that's what they want. You know, that's why this myth, there's this myth been perpetuated throughout fucking anybody that's had any other ideas that are different to what government have got, or different, or are exposing what government have done. And you know, when you say what the fuck, you know, people go, oh, well, you know, if we're violent, that's what they want. It's not what they want. It's what they fear, which is why they've perpetuated this myth. It wouldn't take much. I'm not talking about, it wouldn't take much to fucking get rid of them. It would not, because then you've got fucking police and military on the street, and police and military are going to encounter people that they know, which is probably why they've got 10,000 fucking foreign troops in Britain at the moment, because they know that they're not going to encounter anybody that they know. They're not going to have any fucking, you know, they're going to say, well, if we're still in, well, they should be in, because we want to come and fucking live here and work here and make tons of money and get benefits and stuff like that. So they're going to follow the orders. You see, what we need is, we need good military, we need good police, we need good people with good skills and I'm not talking about fucking the diplomacy skills or political skills. I'm talking about skills of being able to organize people and to say, right, get in there, get them out, arrest them all, right, because they're all guilty, arrest them all, and we'll fucking sort it out in the end. You know, it's like the old shoot them all and let God sort them out. I don't want to go that far, but they should go in there and arrest the fucking lot of them, because they are evil. Apart from, perhaps we could have a few exceptions. The ones that are talking about the will of the people, and the ones that are talking about how, you know, the will of the people has got to be fucking met and it's got to be seen. But they're not doing that. You see, but people will go, as long as we go down this road of, you know. It's love that's going to fucking sort it out. It's peace. It's this. It's that. It's non-violence. No, don't. Even if it's just the threat that there may be violence, that's also powerful as well, because we know that there's the threat from them that they're going to be violent. I don't understand why you get two people in a fight and you getting two. It's like at school, you're getting two people in a fight and you're having one with his arm tied behind his back. That's what there's non-violence, peaceful, under no circumstances shall we be violent. Well, if you're not going to be violent under any circumstances, you're already lost. Fucking forget it. Forget it. I'm not advocating violence. I don't like violence. I hate it. I hate it. But as Mussolini said, blood is the sole mover of the wheels of history, and that is what we've got more than they have. We've got more blood than they have. They can't spill their blood. As soon as the Anna Soubry or whatever her fucking name is, that traitor that's trying to overturn Brexit, what she does, what she's like in paper whining that she can't. I can't go home because, like, you know, there's threats about Brexit. There's people without fucking homes because of the shit that you've fucking done. They can't go home because they haven't fucking got one. But you know, let's make a big deal out of you because you know you get a decent amount of money and you know you've been voted in, even though you voted in a fucking constituency that fucking voted fucking leave, and you're a ridiculous. This is the way it is. We need to just wipe this aside, and they keep putting up these barriers. These barriers, like, you know, oh, you can't be this. If you do this, you're anti-Semitic. Fuck off. If you're a cunt, you're a cunt. If you do this, you're racist. No, fuck off. You're a cunt. You know, if you're a cunt, you're a fucking cunt. It don't matter what fucking creed, but they hide behind this. It's like anti-Semitism. It's like a refuge for the cowardly, for the people that have lost the debate. The debate's been lost. All right, I can't win this debate with this person because Israel's bombing shit out of Palestine. And you know, and Palestine's fucking doing the essential of throwing marbles back at them, and you know, people. We need to stop this. We need to stop this fucking self-censoring fucking nonsense. Go on, Ada. It's about time you spoke anyway. I invited you on. You're getting paid for this and you're not even fucking paying.
Am I getting paid double what I normally get paid? Double fuck all.
Yeah.
Right. This happened to me today. I had one of my customers and her next door neighbor were literally like talking over the garden fence. And I know it sounds like a cliche, but one's there saying, oh, what do you think of this Brexit thing? And the other one's saying, oh, I'm scared. Now, she actually went to the supermarket and she bought 13 chickens and put them in her freezer and 6 big boxes of tea bags, because she firmly believes that because of Brexit, there's going to be a shortage of these things very soon on the high street. And she's chosen to bulk buy all of this fucking shit that she doesn't need to bulk buy because the television has made her scared of what might happen in the near future. How fucking ridiculous.
I'm sorry. I'm just having a quick look on the in the chat room. Good. Thank you to everyone who's turned up tonight. We've got some go mad nomad. Nice one.
I've got a pair of them.
Apple Charlotte. Sorry, I missed your message about Brian earlier. He has legit. Oh, sorry. That's it. I think it's about Brian Harvey. We'll talk about that. I don't know if you know all about that. Go Mad Nomad, Apple Charlotte, nice to see you back again. Danny Caddy is in there. Danny Jones as well. Blazing Stars, Dot Tony is in there as well. Jamie Mitchell, thanks for joining us. It's impromptu. It's Friday night. It's not going to happen every week, but I just, it's particularly this week. It's been a bit strange. The old thing, the old thing's been a bit surreal, and you know what I'm like. I try to keep myself away, and I had, I really don't think that he'll be offended by me saying this, but I got Webby sending me messages last night, and I could see that he was really getting frustrated about what was going on and everything. He's going, world's gone mad. And I said to him, I said, just turn it off. And I said, just turn it off. It's a soap opera that you've been drawn into. And once you're in it, when you're in an emotional state, that amplifies, and I just said, just turn it off. Just let it go. Just turn it off, even if it's just for a couple of hours. And so, that's what I've been doing, and that's what I do quite a lot. I usually just put some comedy on or some American Office. The American Office is just the best thing in the world for getting your mind off things. But that's what you have to do. There are times where you have to get completely away. Just get away from it all. Go and I take during the day. I'm normally out taking Watson for a walk, and I've got his ball and a stick, and I'll go, and there's this field that used to be part of a school field, but the school's been knocked down a long time ago, and but the field's still there, and it's quite overgrown. It's not massively overgrown, but there's a football pitch on there, but there's only one goal. And what I do is I've got one of them balls and sticks, and I throw the ball, and I try and hit the crossbar on the thing, and I can't go until I've hit the crossbar 2 or 3. I'm just talking about these things just to take your mind away from it, because it can be all consuming. It can be something that overtakes you. It can be something that overpowers you. So yeah, just like I was saying to Webby, just take some time away from it. I don't think he did, to be fair, because he was sending me messages saying some notes, and not much later. But do you find, Aid? I know you don't do social media, so you're pretty much protected anyway. So
see, I don't do social media because one, it's like putting your bollocks on a platter and waiting for somebody to stand on them. I mean, people even take pictures of fucking food and put it on social media. So we're going to tell everybody who's trying to control the world what we eat, when we eat it, how we eat it, who we eat it with, why we're eating it, and when we're going to eat the fucking next one. Now, if you really think that you sharing that information with the world is totally benign and nobody will ever make any money from it and it'll never come back to bite you on the arse, then you are one dumb fuck, because it will. Social media is not there for your benefit. Social media is there so that you put on all this information, and then all the information that everybody gives everybody else is harvested and sold to the highest bidder. That is what it is. That's it. That's what it is. So I choose not to be part of that. And people say, oh, what have you got to hide? Well, to those people, I'd say, what colour are the curtains in your front room? Because if you haven't got anything to hide, don't have any curtains up. Because the one thing that we've all got to hide is our privacy. Purely because it is exactly that. It's private. So you're right. I don't do social media because what I'm more willing to do is come on a platform like this where any one of the God knows how many billion people there are on this earth can come and look and see what I'm about. And it's as simple as this. 13 families, own the world. Money isn't what you think it is. And when you realize those two things, your life will mean more. And all the fear that you've got about everything taking over and Brexit and not having enough chickens and not enough tea bags and needing violence against this and this Islam and all these people that are pitched against us and split the world in two and so that we can all be against each other just because we're different. Divide, it's all bollocks. Divide and conquer is all bollocks, because one thing that Jason is right about, we've all got blood in us and it's all the same colour. So when you've got 0.00001% of the cunts in this world that are trying to rule it, everybody else can win, dead easy. All you've got to do is lose the fear and think that actually you own yourself. Nobody else does. And I'll give you a couple of examples. And I've said these many times before. Leader of the free world. How fucking stupid does that sound? Leader of a free world. It can't be both. It's an oxymoron. Either we're being led or we're free. And the other one of my favourites, which I fucking love, is consent of the governed. Now, either I'm consenting or I'm being governed. So either I'm running where I want to run or some cunt sat on my back is whacking me with a whip. It can't be both. So if you want to carry on watching the TV and realising that, oh, well, it might get soon, it fucking won't until you wake up and actually stand there with your bollocks on show and show that you've got a pair, because that's all it takes. Just show that you've got a pair of balls. Because if you haven't, go back and watch the BBC and believe all that shit.
Are you trying to get me to get my balls out on camera?
No. I'm actually speaking to the millions of people that are going to watch this.
Yeah, well, they did. Well, I hope they get their balls out then, but not in front of me, because you know, I've seen Michelle Obama's balls.
If anybody actually believes that all that politics and all that shit that you see on the TV is real, well, think again. Because the only thing that's real is what's in your head. And all you need to do is realise that what you've been indoctrinated with through school is exactly that. It's indoctrination. It's nothing more. All you need to do is actually what the world is made of. And that's a tiny, tiny, tiny number of people who are scared to death of you, just in case you realise what's really going on.
What did you just changing direction a little bit? What did you make of the shootings in Christchurch?
Jason, I don't watch the TV. I've never watched the news. I don't know what those were.
All right, so you don't know that last week?
No.
There were. I've got it on here actually. Let me just show you a bit. But this is a bloke, and he's videoed himself on. He's videoed himself. Fucking hell, where did I get that from? I'm trying to. Oh, here we go. There we go. Here's. What? There we go. There we go. Christchurch shootings. I've got this video on my phone, which is probably right against law. But this guy decided that he was going to go into a mosque and kill people.
Oh, is this the one in New Zealand?
Yeah, in Christchurch, yeah.
Yeah. What do I make of that? Right, okay.
Here we go, look.
Yeah. What do I make of it?
Yeah, well, that's probably enough to get us fucking this video banned. But you know, I've got a copy of that. If anybody wants a copy of that, then you just let me know, because I've got the entire thing here, the entire thing. Yeah, well, what do you make of that?
Here's what I think.
Eh?
it is to the establishment's advantage that we are divided in order to conquer. And my own belief is that whether it be colour, creed, religion, any excuse to divide us is seized upon by the so-called elite. Part of the consequence of that is that they will stage events. Part of the consequence of that is that people will take it upon themselves to do things like happened in Christchurch. Now, whether that was staged, whether it was somebody independent taking on their decision to do that based on how they were influenced. We are all influenced by what we see, what we hear, what we read, and what we believe. Now, if you're constantly bombarded with the guy with the blue skin is bad, eventually you will believe that the guy with the blue skin is bad because you have no other perception. So at that point, there may be somebody who's feeling very frustrated that picks up a gun and walks into the guy with the blue skin's church to blow him away. But there also could be the government paid for ex-military guy who's paid to go in and make it look like the first scenario actually happened. Whatever happens is, the first thing that you should ask yourself is, who benefits? So if somebody benefits by it, now the one thing that will happen is it will increase the division between the two people. You will always get the people who sort of say, oh, well, you know, it'll bring me closer to my Muslim friends. Well, it may do. But in general, it will just go further to divide us and conquer us. Because that's all they want to do, divide and conquer, divide and conquer. And there are 1,001 ways of dividing us. Long hair, blonde, dark hair, short hair, old, young, male, female, Muslim, Christian, Jew, whatever. Millions and millions and millions of different ways of dividing us. But the question you always need to ask is, who benefits? That's it. Who is going to benefit from what you're seeing?
Yeah, we've got plenty of people. We've got plenty of opinions in the chat room. We've got Danny Jones who's in there. He said, blah blah blah. It wasn't fake. It was essentially saying, do not play this footage, please. And I only played a little bit anyway. But like I said, I've got it all. I've got it. So. But there are people that are saying that they don't believe the official narrative. We've got Jamie Mitchell who says that 5.56 bullets and no blood. You've got to be blind to see that this is not a fake. Real or not, Beeb Ros Ribozzo says real, and I completely agree with this as well. Real or not, the agenda is the same. And yes, the agenda is the same. It's just to get rid of. For a start, I mean, it was the morning after a huge. It was reported the morning after because it was Friday in New Zealand, but it was sort of Friday late night, Thursday night into Friday morning in the UK. And on the Thursday night, there'd been a vote in Parliament about Brexit. And then when you see that anybody who is decreed to be a Brexit person, a Brexiteer or whatever, they're perceived as right wing, even though me and Webby here on Raconteurs News have been perceived as left, and we're both Brexiteers. But you know, it's like a little game that's going on. Show what's instead. Yeah, all right.
You see, left and right and all that stuff. It's as simple as this. If you're a cunt, you're a cunt. I don't care what colour you are, what religion you are, what you believe, who you think was perfect, what book you rely on. Doesn't interest me. If you're an honourable guy and you do the right thing by the people that surround you, then you're an honourable guy. And, you know, again, religion is there to divide and conquer us. That's what it's for.
Like everything, though, Ada, isn't it?
Of course it is. You know, and it's almost it's within us because it's tribal. You know, it really is. But one thing that always amazes me is this. We're all happy to be split black and white. We're all happy to be split white or Asian. We're all happy to be split Jewish or, I don't know, Muslim or Christian or whatever. So why are we never, ever happy to be split elite and non-elite? Because they're the real enemy, the elite. And I don't mean the politicians. I don't mean that. I mean the 13 families, the Bilderbergers, the royal families. They are the enemy.
Well, you see, for me, they can't work without the media. So for me, the media is the real enemy.
Yeah. But you see, you've got the media, the churches, you've got the politicians, you've got the BBC, you've got all these things.
You keep talking, Eddie. I'm just going to get myself a gin and tonic.
You've got all these things between the elite and the everyday people. And they're supposed to be there because they're there to influence your thoughts. Even the schools, the BBC, you know, everything is... You will never, ever, ever, ever get to see one of the elite because you're just a piece of shit on their shoe. Nothing more. Nothing more. But they're the enemy. And for anybody who don't believe this, you know, when you look at things like G. Edward Griffin, the creature from Jekyll Island, it's just about how the Federal Reserve was created. Well, the Federal Reserve is not federal and there's no reserves because everything's the opposite. And, you know, when you look at the young men who think they're joining the army, whether it's in this country or any other country, to fight for their country, no, they're not. They fight. It's a rich man's war, and all they're doing is becoming their private army. That's all they are. And they've got more in common with the man that they're going to kill than the cunt in a suit that fucking sent them there. Because the cunt in the suit who sent them there is a puppet of the elite.
And we're all puppets to the elite.
Well, I'd like to think that I'm not.
Well, no, you're not. You're like a, I don't know, some sort of other puppet.
I mean, you talk about left and right, and I'm just a fucking anarchist. I don't even fucking believe in any of them. I mean, I know it's a bit of an old cliche, but you try explaining democracy and government to an alien, they'd think you were fucking mental.
Well, they did. When I tried to explain it, they just thought, they just went, shut the fuck up, you dickhead. Fucking hell, they went nudging each other and go, fucking picture right in here, haven't we? We fucking picked this cunt. He's fucking thick as fuck. He thinks that fucking servants can become masters.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. You can vote for us and we'll do what you want us to do. Like, fuck.
Yeah, all right, then get us out of Europe. No, we're not doing that. You know, even though you voted for it and like loads in Europe voted for it. Oh, yeah, but we've got some pussies over here that are screaming and shouting because they're invested and they perceive that they're going to lose something from it. only personally they're going to lose something from it, you know, whether it be the fucking student loan or, you know, whatever shit's been fucking spouted in these fucking stupid universities where free speech has been completely fucking eradicated and a gender has been placed in a Marxist agenda, a cultural Marxist agenda has been stuck in place. And if you fucking veer from that, not only are you not only are you putting at risk your your degree or whatever you're fucking there for, you know, to get a fucking piece of paper to say, you know, I can fucking, you know, well, you get a piece of paper and it says this cunt can do a fucking a thing. You can go into a place and you can go into a place and do something that anybody can fucking do really after fucking 1 day's training. But you know, he's been able to write also, and I know that's simplifying it, but most of them really are like that, aren't they? Most of them, these 3-year courses, all they're mostly based upon how you should do things rather than you know, rather than trying to introduce you to solving problems. You know, it's remember this fucking shit. Remember it, you're all right. I know that because I've been through it. You know, it's remember it. Don't fucking kick up a stink. Don't fucking question it. And you're all right. You're
The whole
golden.
thing with the education system is quite simple. At what point, education system, is anybody asked what they think? Because I'm telling you now, you're not. You're told what to think. You're told what to remember. And you are told what you have to remember in order to get the right fucking colour pen through your exam paper. But at no point are you asked what you think. You're only told what to think because that's what they want you to think. And that's with every single subject.
And but it not only goes through the subjects, the same values, the same MO, if you will, modus operandi, happens because then they'll say, by the way, if you remember all this shit, you know, you can be, if you remember all this shit, you can regurgitate it. We'll do that, and you can be a fucking graphic designer or whatever. But they're also saying, oh, by the way, you know what? You know, if you're feeling a bit pissed off one day, and you know, you perhaps something didn't go right, a date or something like that, you know, you can change sex. You go and fuck someone else, or perhaps if you don't want to fuck them, you might be an asexual fucking. You know, we've got this. It's not only, oh right, just it's like if you can remember this and you can adhere to these things, then we'll allow you to do this thing. And then alongside that is you've got this, you can be whatever you want. You can be a man. I've seen a fucking picture. I've seen a picture online and it's a bloke and he's sat there and he's got a pair of jeans on and he's got fucking red round his things and he's got a sign saying men can have periods too. And I'm thinking to myself, what did he do? Did he chop his knob off? Or is he lying? Because if he's lying, then somebody should point out and go, actually, you see that there that's in between your legs? That ain't blood. That's like fake blood. You're trying to just make a point. The point you're trying to make don't fucking exist because it ain't real, right?
Yeah.
So, but instead of that happening, these sort of people are being, oh right, okay, oh, we need to understand these people. Yeah, well, I understand them. They're fucking nuts. They are fucking nuts. They are insane. If you're a fucking bloke and you think you're a woman, you might enjoy dressing up as a woman. You might enjoy a fucking the freedom a skirt gives you and wearing yeah, okay, fine, do that. But don't try to impose it upon me, because when you're imposing it upon me, that means that I've got to then be mentally ill along with you.
You see, when it comes to people's sexuality, as many of you know, my daughter's a lesbian, and
listen, I'm just going to go and you carry on talking. I'm just going to make sure get my dog in.
Right, I'll never forget the day she came out to me, because she came up to me. She went, "Dad, I've got something to tell you." "What's that, darling?" She said, "I'm gay." I went, "Oh, I know that." And she said, "Well, how long have you known?" I said, "Well, since you were about 5. Because, I mean, I love my daughter to bits, but I really couldn't care less whether she was a daughter or a son or a whatever. It didn't make a difference to me. As long as she's smiling, I really couldn't care less. But my daughter would say, if you are a man and you identify as a woman, if you've still got a cock, you're a man."
Dude,
yeah.
Dude, just keep talking, because I am going to have to go outside. I'm going to have to put my leg on and go outside because my dog's fucked off. Little bastard.
You know, so sexuality, listen, if it makes you happy, who cares? It's between you and whatever makes you happy. However, when you bring your sexuality out into the open and expect other people to view you differently, then it's their view, and it's nothing to do with acceptance. It's just their view. I really couldn't give a monkeys. But, oh, don't you hate that word, but it's just a case of what is right for the person involved. And who cares what somebody's sexuality is? But don't expect to go to the Olympic Committee and say, "Hello, I'm a 6'4", I weigh 280 pounds, and I was born a man. However, I identify as a woman, so I'd like to take part in the women's shot put at the next Olympics." Because that just means you're taking the fucking piss. And all it is cheating. So don't do that. If you're a man, you're a man. And if you're a woman, you're a woman. If you're somewhere in between, and I understand there are medical things that, you know, hermaphrodites that mean that you can do that, then that's fine. But, you know, if you're a man, don't identify as a woman just to cheat and sport, because it just means you're a cheating cunt. And I don't know about anybody else, but I've now got a wonderful picture of Jason Holmes wandering around with his prosthetic leg and he's Cholton and the Wheelies chariot.
Oh,
That's Cholton. Eh?
It's a little bastard fucking ran off from back garden, didn't it? I just went out to front and I called him and he come in, so I had to put my fucking leg on to go and call him, because if I had to go out, then I'm gonna have to talk to him. I'm gonna have to fucking walk out there. Fuck you. Well, dude, I think we can still carry on, can't we? I think you're right about that. You know, the transsexual fucking blokes that. In fact, I read a story the other day. I think I said it the other day, and I don't want to really repeat myself because I'm not fucking Webby. Sorry, but I don't want to repeat myself. But what he did is he transitioned into a woman in order to break a world record for something, and then after he'd done it and got the women's world record at whatever he was doing, he then transitioned back into a man.
Yeah, well, that's just what you call fucking cheating, you cheating bastard.
Yeah, but it's like a. Do you know what I like about it? It's like a fuck you to feminist movement. not that I dislike the feminist movement. Look, I just think everyone should be fucking sane. I just think that there are these movements that don't want equality. They want special privilege over men. There are in certain places. There are, like in tennis. There was a big deal about in Grand Slams that the women's and men's prize money was the same, yet the men play 5-set games and the women play 3-set games. So that you would suggest would be a good enough reason. It's not sexist. It's just that the man has to exert more energy in order to win. So then he should get, well, not he should get more money, but he just did. But so when they went, oh right, it's got to be women's prize money's got to be the same as men's prize money, and then men said, well, okay then, but you need to play 5 sets. It was, oh, you're sexist. What the fucking hell is that?
Yeah.
My problem with that is my problem's not with fucking equality. Fucking equality, give me all day. I love equality. I'd like equality. I'd love to have it. But it's not, we're not the same. Men and women are not the same. You know, it's just fucking got to a point where it's ridiculous, where you've got men and women, and then there's women's football, and then what will happen is that men will transition. Men who weren't very good at football, or they might have been up to a certain level but weren't going to make it, they're going to transition as women. Then they're going to have to be allowed in, because of all these fucking laws about, everyone. If you've got mental illness, then people can't point it out, and you need to be treated just like anybody else. Look, my grandmother had fucking schizophrenia. My grandmother had my grandmother on my mother's side had schizophrenia, and she used to do really, really bizarre things. She lived in a house, and she, one year at Christmas, and this is many years ago, she pushed the TV down the garden in the snow, and then went and reported to the local police station, because there used to be police stations then in every village and town. They were a bomb in it. Now, nothing happened, but today there'd probably have to be somebody coming up, and then if they didn't find a bomb, they'd have to say, well, they probably were a bomb, and we can't dismiss this woman as mentally ill because she's taught. It's just fucking ridiculous. It's just gone ridiculous, and the more the society is mentally ill, completely mentally ill. It's completely mentally ill. The whole lot of it is completely fucking mentally ill. You can't point that out, because that will be prejudice. It's like, okay, let's just say if I said to you, let's just say, just jokingly or in a conversation, and I said to you, fuck off, you're gay, right?
Yeah.
Now, somebody would take that offence as offensively. If someone were listening, they'd be offended by that. Someone may be offended by that were listening.
What I find is people who are not gay find that offensive on behalf of the people that are gay, who couldn't give a fucking toss what you think about them.
Now, you see, that's not the point, is it? If I say to you, let's just say, if somebody says, I find the word gay offensive, then you'd say, well, how would you describe yourself? And they'd probably say gay. And you'd say, right, well, you've just used the same word as I've used, pretty much in the same context. Well, in fact, mine wasn't in quite as strong a context as yours, because yours is sexual and mine is just banterish between men, and that's less intense. So, and also, if you find me calling somebody gay and you think that that's a derogatory term, then you obviously think that being gay is derogatory, right? Okay, nobody, did that, really? It's just.
Yeah. But my daughter, who is gay, would probably just
Well,
stand
I
there
know
and
your
go,
daughter. Fucking hell,
who gives a fuck?
Well, I'm not going to sit here and virtue signal, but she's all right. I've known her for a long time.
Yeah.
It don't fucking matter what she is. It's just that I'm talking about the people that take offence at it. I'm not talking about gay people. Most gay people don't give a fuck. They just fucking go about their lives like me and you. They're not fucking. They're not offended by shit, and they just go about their lives. It's just that, and it's just that there's this few, and they're mostly not gay. They're just gay, offended on behalf of gay people.
Yeah. You see, Jason, the one thing that I have heard this week that really kind of made my ears prick up a little bit was a simple little statement, which was political correctness costs lives. And it's true. It does. Being politically correct, being scared of calling something out for what it is, does cost lives. I don't know, what can I think of? The stuff in Rotherham with the young girls that were raped by gangs of men. For the sake of people being politically correct and not allowed to say, well, the common denominator of that was that these men came from the mosque across the road to rape this girl who was 14, who was then arrested for being drunk and disorderly. Well, the sake of being politically correct, well, that cost that girl dearly and many others like her. So the cost of being politically correct is immense. And the one thing that I always stand by is, if you're a cunt, you're a cunt. I don't care what colour you are, what religion you are. And actually standing in court and saying, I'm sorry, but I didn't realise that what I did was wrong, because I've always been taught in my culture that raping a 9-year-old girl was absolute an animal.
Yeah, man. I lost you a bit then. I don't know if anybody else did. If anyone else did, if they did, I'm sorry. But what we were talking about really is the political correctness. It's a cancer, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
You can't say anything. What happened to me? So what happened to me? Oh yeah. When I was in my I was in the doctors, and it were not long after my amputation, and I was in my doctors, and I was seeing a nurse, and she was doing me INR or doing something anyway, give me blood tests or something, and she said to me, are you all right? How are you getting on? And I says, oh, I'm all right. I've got here today. I've got here on my spaz chariot. And she went, you can't say that. I said, what do you want about? I can't say that. I can call it what I fucking want. It's my fucking vehicle. It's my mobility scooter. I can call it a spaz chariot if I want. Don't worry about it. What's the matter with you? So she would have offended on my behalf over something that I'd said.
You said something about, I mean, I've got a blue badge and I call it my spaz badge. What's wrong with that? If I'm calling myself a spaz,
it's my spaz
what's
badge.
Wrong with that?
Yeah. And I saw this thing on TV as well the other day. And oh God. It's just that I find that that TV's, it's just making everything so fucking bad, innit? You know, it's just making everything fucking worse. There was this thing about where they got these people who are in this fucking house. So they put all these people in this house. One's a fucking dwarf with a beard who's female. Then there's somebody with no fucking arms and legs. And then, I mean, and when I don't identify as being, a disabled. I don't. I'm just a normal bloke. I've got a badge that lets me park closer. That's all. That's all.
Yeah.
I couldn't give a fuck what anyone says.
Yeah. Do you know the one that always makes me laugh is that when you go to a car park and there's a bay that you're only allowed to park in if you've got a low emissions vehicle.
What the fuck does that even mean?
Well, supposedly it's one of these hybrid, I don't know. But yeah, if you've got a low emissions vehicle, that's the only people. So you get to park closer because you believe in global warming and all that bollocks.
Because you're a fucking
rather
idiot.
than somebody who can think for themselves, who drives a normal car, has got to park across the other side of the car park. Divide and conquer. Fuck you.
Yeah, well, that's one of my issues with these places is that the parent and child fucking bays are closer than the fucking disabled bays.
Yeah.
And but why? But why? You know, you got a kid. It's brand new. It don't need. You know, if it can walk, it's fucking walking, and it's brand new. It's got loads of energy. It can do all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, but we have to have these wider spaces. Okay, put them at the other end of fucking car park. Because yeah, then you've got wider spaces. And let's see how much the wider space really means to you when you're fucking parking, you know, as close as you fucking possibly can. Fucking idiots. It's just fucking stupidity. It's just fucking bowing to a minority that have got some sort of fucking shitty issue. Fucking parent and fucking child. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Yeah. But the one that really, really, really got it for me was the low emissions.
That's out there, innit?
You can park here if you believe in to whatever it is.
Yeah, you can park here if you're a dick. Yeah.
Oh, I've got to tell you this, Jason. You were talking about doctors, right? I don't know if you can see this. Hang on a minute.
Yep.
Right. Razor blade in my razor, and I shave with a proper old, proper old razor. I don't mean a straight edge. I mean one that you put a replacement blade in. And I did that, and I had a shave, and then I had a shower, and I got out. And of course, there was a little pile of rubbish on the side of the basin, and I scooped it up with my hand, forgetting that inside the tissue, next to the cotton bud and the other bits and bobs that I'd used that morning in the bathroom, no tampons included, was a razor blade. So I did that, and I grasped it, and I put a big slice down my thumb. Now, I'm on blood thinners at the moment because of the heart operations I've had recently. So the upshot of that is that if you cut yourself, you bleed and it doesn't stop. So 20 minutes, half an hour, and I've just got this thumb that just would not stop bleeding. And I need to go to work, and I need to get on with my daily life. And I thought, there's a doctor's surgery down the road. I'm registered there. I'll jump in my automatic car. I mean, it's automatic, but I need to be there. I'll jump in my automatic car, and I just had a big wadger kitchen roll around my thumb, and I went down to the doctor's, and I said to the woman on reception, "Hello, this is what I've done to my finger. I'm on blood thinners. Is there anybody here who can see me just to give me a bit of help? Because I can't even put a dressing on this with one hand because you need two. Can somebody help me?" And she said, "I'm sorry, I'll have to go to A&E." Now, I live about 7 miles from Chesterfield A&E, about 7 miles from Rotherham A&E, about 7 miles from Worksop A&E, and about 7 miles from Sheffield A&E. So here I am in a doctor's saying, "Hello, my thumb's bleeding, I can't stop it. Can you please put a couple of stitches in the end or super glue it or something?" And the answer I got was, "You'll have to go to A&E." At which point I did lose my temper a little bit and said, "How the fuck can I drive to A&E when all I'm doing is trying to catch the blood? How is that safe?" "Oh, well, you'll need to go in a taxi." So in the end, I just said, "Well, I'll tell you what, why don't I just sit here till you decide who you're going to get to see me?" And the nurse actually admitted to me that they are not allowed in a doctor's surgery to put stitches in because it's breaking the skin. How fucking ridiculous is that?
Completely.
They're not allowed to stitch your skin. And I mean, look, you know, I weren't asking for any anaesthetic or asking for 2 or 3 stitches in the end of my thumb to stop it. And in the end, I came home, I sat there with a load of pressure on it, and then I put 2 or 3 drops of super glue in it to stop it, to hold it together.
Wow.
And it's just fucking ridiculous, mate.
Well, it is, isn't it? I mean, come on, for fuck's sake. Look, you're talking about NHS. We're talking about a place where they went. Oh, where they went to me. Oh, by the way, we'd give you normally we'd give you an epidural, an epidural that would last for 3 days. You know, for an amputation like this. But since it's Friday, there's nobody on this weekend. We're just going to give you a 1-day one.
Yeah.
When they cut it off.
Just to add insult to your injury, you know, I mean, how fucking bad does it get? "Oh, well, we're going to put this stent in your leg, but don't worry, we'll put it in bent so that you'll never walk again."
Yeah. Well, that's the way it is, isn't it? That's the fucking way it is. You've just got to fucking live with it. I'm sure that.
Do you know, if
people were a lot worse off than I am. I've got this lovely little doggy who's fucking run off, who's in total fucking trouble tonight. Yes.
Rolo. You see, the trouble is that whilst we're all happy to, I don't know, wave blame at somebody else, sometimes you are actually in a position where the only thing you can do is rely on somebody else's knowledge.
Yeah, of course you can. Of course you are. I mean, yeah, of course you are. And what can you do? Can you blame somebody for something that happens? Can you? I don't know. Fucking hell. Everyone has off days. Everyone has fucking. Just think about how many times you've been to work and fucked up. And you just think then if you've got, you know, someone's a fucking heart in your hands or and you fuck up, and hopefully they fuck up a lot less. But it is fucking difficult, isn't it, Watson? And it, Watson, say hello to everyone, Watson. Watson, who's this? Who's this? Who's this? Ooh, who's this?
Hang on a minute. We've got a competition going now. Hey, mate. Come here, dude. Come here, dude. Oh, oh,
Who's that? Who's that? Watson? Watson, who's that? Who's this?
hold on. Say hello. Ooh. Kiss a love. Thank you.
All you're thinking is...
Is that what you call dogging?
I think that's what we've been doing tonight, mate. I think we're probably going to wrap it up. What did you say?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, listen. The one I just want to say to people, lose the fear, guys. You know, all this shit that you see on the telly, just, do you know what it reminds me of? When I was getting divorced, a long time ago, I was scared. I was scared that somebody else had the power to take something off me that I dearly loved, which was my children. And once I realized that actually that person who I thought had the power to take that from me didn't. And the reason they didn't is because you can't escape what's true. And what was true was I loved my children and my children loved me. So it didn't matter what my ex said. I was always going to have a relationship with my ex and my kids. And once I realized that, once that fear of what you might lose had gone, life was dead simple. And it's the same with all this bollocks that you see on the fucking news. Once you realize that it doesn't mean anything, it's complete and utter fucking theatre that's there to make you scared or fearful or go buy too many fucking chickens or whatever. Just lose the fear, guys. Because at the end of the day, they don't matter. You do.
Good man. Well, I think we can end on that now, can't we?
Love you lots.
It's been emotional. It's Friday night. We'll probably do this whenever we feel like it, to be fair. But thanks, AD, mate. It's been good to have you on and to have a quick chat with you. Just like to just again mention Bernie Gadd. Rest in peace, mate. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, that's all you can.
So yeah, we'll see you on Monday evening and on Tuesday this week. And Webby will be here. Oh, thank you, Watson. Webby will be here. Me and Webby Monday and Tuesday night. And enjoy the rest of your weekend. It's only Friday, isn't it? It's only Friday night. We've got Saturday and Sunday to go. So enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll see you on Monday. Take it easy. Bye.